cold down here today. I don't know what that's about. It's not that cold outside, but it's cold out here, down here, down here. Not out here. I'm inside. Hi, how you doing? Welcome to the replay. Welcome to Daily Fuel. My name is Bobby. I'm the host of this group, The Spiritual Artist. And if you're watching in the replay, then do me a favor and let me know that you're here in the replay. You can put a hashtag of some kind. Choose any that you like. It could have replay in it. It does not have to, but if you want to, it can. And you can also comment. I forgot to put my dog away. Great. Yes, you can also comment and let me know that you're in the replay in some way, shape, or form. She's literally standing right above my head. I forgot to put her away. Anyway, let's see. Mikey's here. Monday. Hey, Mikey, you're still the first commenter, and we're going for like some record now. I'm not counting, but I'm not. Now it says Facebook user for what's it called? Anonymous person. Hi, Bobby and company. I'm guessing maybe that's Deb again because I think that's what you wrote. Hang on, time out. Gotta turn the volume off. Yeah, that's Deb. Deb and Amy are watching with you. Deb, you're still anonymous for some reason. Anyway, Amy's here. Hello, Amy. How are you? Nice to see you here. And Ray is here. Hello. So you almost beat Mikey. Yeah, you guys are like on each other's tails. That's so funny. So anyway, let's get started. Stop being polite. Stop being polite. That's the title of today's thing. Now, when I say polite, I'm not talking about being kind, being humble, saying please and thank you, all that good stuff. That's still, the order of the day. We want to be polite and kind to each other. I'm talking about that politeness when you don't want to rock the boat and you don't want to hurt someone's feelings or appear rude. So if somebody says like, hey, can you jump in this meeting? And you're like, yeah. Or, like, hey, can you get on this call or can you do me a favor and take me to Oshkosh? Those are the kinds of things that I'm talking about. A lot of times people will ask something of us that's more than we can give, or they'll almost act like it's a requirement, Man, this could go in so many directions, but I'm trying to keep it in the realm of our art. But really, it could be like family members who just expect you to be this places, and especially maybe for some of us who may or may not work at home, like I work at home. So it's been a very long time that I've been working at home. So the people in my life know the deal now. But when I first started, and I hear this a lot for people who work from home, especially when they're just beginning, people are thinking like, oh, hey, can you do this for me? You're home. And it's like, I'm not home. I'm at work. I work at home, but I'm at work. There's a difference. So there's that. And don't be polite in terms of diluting what you need to do for yourself to make somebody else happy just because you don't want to rock the boat or hurt their feelings or come across as rude. It's not rude. It's really not. You need to stand your ground and make a place where you just say, this is my space, this is my time, this is my whatever, and you're not allowed to encroach? Is that the word? Encroach on. I'm going with that word. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me. Anyway, so you mean learn to say no. Yes, learn to say no. Now let's put this into the context of our art, because a lot of times, especially as artists, a couple of things could happen. We could try to dilute our art because there are people in our lives who would like to see us create something different or create something that they would prefer. Or there are those times where it's like maybe we are lessening the importance of art in our lives because we're trying to make other people proud of us or happy by spending more time doing that thing that they wished that we would do. I wish you didn't go to art school. I wish you became a lawyer. Or, I wish that you weren't spending all your time working on that. You could be making more money by working on this. Things like that. And so we tend to whether it's somebody specific that's asking us to change, or it's our own state of mind where we think society doesn't really value this, so I'll change it to this because more people seem to value this. And in a sense, that's the same as being polite. We don't want to be rude to people. We don't want to rock the boat. But at the same time, it's like we also want to be accepted. And that's the flip side of that. And it kind of has a three. I came up with this thing. I always do things in threes, right? But this one is more like one happens, and then that leads to two, and then that leads to three, right? And it's kind of a sinister thing that happens here. And you'll see that they get worse and worse as time goes on. So the first one is just that it wastes time, right? So it can start with bad habits, like never saying no to people when they ask for something, or like I'll take that meeting, or I'll do that favor, or I'll just, I'm always putting myself last by I'm so selfless, and I'll help other people do this thing because I don't want to seem rude and tell them no. Or, if somebody says, oh, darn, I really need a ride somewhere. And you're like, I'll do it. It's like, why are you even volunteering? Some people don't even need to be asked. They'll just volunteer because they don't want to come across as rude. And that can run the gamut all the way to certain life choices where now you're spending so much time doing things for others, or doing things to please others, or doing things for others' approval, that we're not doing the thing that we love. Our core genius isn't being fulfilled. Our passions aren't being manifested, right? It wastes time. Now, what happens when you waste time? Well, if you waste the day, all right, you wake up, you get back to it tomorrow. You waste a week, you waste a month, you waste a year, right? All of a sudden, time starts adding up, that these same habits become a habit, and you're doing it all the time until now maybe a year has passed, maybe 2 years have passed, maybe a decade starts to pass. And resentment builds. Resentment starts to build because now you're realizing, I have spent so much time not doing my stuff because I'm doing your stuff, and resentment starts to build. You didn't want to be rude, but now you just hate these people. Now you just can't stand, if it's a single person or a group of people or your family or friends, right? Whoever it is, we don't want to be rude with them. We don't want to fight with them, but now I really, really resent you, right? And that's not a good thing. It's not good for you, and it's not good for them. They don't know. They're off in, happy land going like, oh, they're such a good person. They're always doing the thing I need. They're always so selfless and nice. And meanwhile, you're like, I want to kill her. It's like, we don't want to resent the people in our lives, especially our loved ones. We don't want to resent them. We want them supporting us and for us to be supporting them. So we don't want to waste time, because it then leads to resentment, and then resentment leads to regrets, because as enough time passes, now you get to that point in life where it's like, wow, a lot of time has passed, and I may not have as much time ahead of me as I do behind me, and I didn't do any of the stuff that I wanted to do yet. And this is when we start to feel like maybe it's too late. Or maybe we've lost touch with some of the skills and the talents that used to come so naturally, but now it's like I never use it anymore. So now to get back into it is such a headache, because I haven't done that in so long that I'm not even good at it anymore, or I don't know the new technology, or I don't understand like how people do it this way anymore, or And really, the worst one is that you start to lose touch with your core genius. You just start to lose touch with, what is my passion anymore? It's been 20, 30 years I haven't done the thing I want to do because I was doing that. And now it's like, I don't even know who I am anymore. Like, who am I? And that's why I think a lot of people have midlife crises, or, and they don't really know who they are. They went to school, they got good grades, they got a job, they got a health insurance and all the stuff. And now it's like they're in their 40s or 50s or 60s, and they're just like, this sucks. I don't like this. I don't like any of this. I wanted to do that thing. Well, for us, the thing that we want to do is so tangible and so obvious that if we're not doing it, if we aren't creating our art, it kind of hurts. It's such a loud call for us that when we aren't doing it, it's obvious to us that we're not doing it. So that ended on a bad note, but here's the thing I want to say. I honestly believe, I don't think it matters how much time went by. I don't care if you had a bad habit for a week or for 60 years and now you're just like, I never did anything and I wish that I did. Do it now, because your spirit, your source, your soul is infinite, is eternal, and you can start it today and you'll just go like, yay, we're finally starting. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. As Abraham says, you're never finished, you'll never get it done. It's like just put your boat in the water now. All right, let's go to the comments and see what we got. And I see some faces here. Who's that? It says Kirsten is watching, but there aren't any things from her. Okay, so I saw her face here, but not here. All right, so Deb, hi Bobby and company. How do I become anonymous? Okay, so on this post, if you look at the text that I wrote for this post, in the bottom paragraph, there's a link to Ecamm something or other. You click on that, and it'll ask you to allow the permissions, and then it'll start showing your face on here. You only have to do it one time, and then it'll show you. If you can't find it or whatever, I'll do a post after this live. It says, if you're new here, click this and I'll tag you. Okay, so don't worry about it. Let me just make sure. Was that Deb? Where am I? I can't figure out this and this. I can't. Hang on. Give me 1 second, guys. Where am I? Hi, Bobby and company. Why can't I match these up? How do I become unanonymous? Okay, and then... Oh, that's why. Because Amy is showing up here and not here. I'm looking for Amy because your thing is so obvious. It stands out, and you're not showing up on... That's really weird. I don't understand this. Going for the first comment, booby prize. Yes. So you mean learn to say no? Oh, I read this already. Okay, so here we are. Ray says... you mean like mothers being at home, and I mean like anyone who stays at home to be, oh crap, where am I going with this? Yes, exactly. Stay-at-home moms are a perfect example of this, right? You quit your job, you give up your career, you do the thing to raise the kids. Stay-at-home dads, same thing. It doesn't matter. This isn't specific to moms or dads or whoever, but anybody who gives up something to do another thing. Well, you can even start to resent your kids. You can even start to be like, I gave up a career in that, and now they're going off to college or getting married or they're living their own lives, and this whole thing that you wrapped your life around is going away. And you like, I have an empty nest and I don't know what to do with myself. Who am I? It can happen. It absolutely can happen. Robin is giving me flowers. Thank you. It's springtime. Yes. And who said that? Sacrificing habits, says Deb. Sacrificing habits. Is that a statement, or are you repeating me? I'm sorry. I know I said that, but I don't know the context anymore. I'm sorry. Ray says, especially difficult for those of us who have 9s in our life. It's just what we feel is our thing. You're talking about numerology. Yeah, it's I suppose I don't know that, but what I'm taking from that is you're saying that certain people who resonate with certain numbers would feel this even more. Okay, I didn't know that. That's really interesting. Amy, sometimes our natural kindnesses tend to work against us as we do favors, regardless of what we're doing to forward our own work. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You have this natural, right, kindness. That's a good way to put it, because that's actually the wrong word, but that's the way we think about it. We think it's kind to do the favor and rude to not do the favor. Well, if those are my two choices, I would prefer to be kind. So I'll just put my entire life on hold and help you. That's not kind. That's not rude either to not do it. It's rude of the people who may expect it. It's certainly not rude for the people if they ask it. If you are a friend and like, hey, can you help me move? And you like pack up boxes and put it on a truck and they move and now they're living in that new house. That's not rude. That's you doing a favor for a friend. I'm not talking about like a one-off favor, but when you're changing your entire life, or if you're always the person that everybody needs the favor from every day, all the time, because, Amy's the person that you can count on. She's such a reliable friend, and it's like, well, I don't want to not be a reliable friend, but did it ever dawn on you that if you're the reliable friend, then what the hell is everybody else? How come they get to take the day off all the time because you're the one who's always reliable? You have to put yourself first. In life, not every single day of life. Some days your people need you more than you need you, but in general, you need to put yourself first. Robin says, Amy, cool idea. Did you tell Bobby? Okay. Ray says, boy, you've really thought this one out and you're really communicating this so well. Been there, done that, and probably gave the t-shirt off your back. I think that I probably used to have tendencies to be this way, but I have become so good at not being this way that, no. I have my boundaries and I'm good at maintaining them. Because I have to be. Even with here's another thing, because I have to be, right? So I am the host of this group, and there are times when people message me on Messenger or reach out to me as individually and stuff like that. Now I can say that that's happened with many of you, and I'm always happy to have those conversations. But I would never allow anything to sort of seep into where I'm spending like all day, every day having those conversations, because then I'm being pulled away and I'm of no value to everybody else in the group. You know what I mean? But I don't have a boundary where I'm just like, don't message me, I'm too important. That's not the way I want to be either. I want to be approachable and be able to have messages and things like that. But I kind of have the boundary in my head as to when would this be too much. It would probably be about here. And so far, I'm happy to say that's the thing I really love about this group is nobody's even pushed that boundary. Nobody, not a single person has come close to that. I like being approachable and having one-on-one relationships with whoever in this group would like to. But nobody here takes advantage of it. And I think that might be because of me, because nobody takes advantage of it, because I think I set the energetic boundaries in my life where it's just kind of felt. I don't have to post it. I don't have to post rules in the group that say, you may message me once a month, but no more. Nothing like that. I just probably exude this sense of he's approachable, but don't mess with him. And nobody does. And it works. And I think that if you're feeling like a lot of people are taking advantage of you, then you may be putting out, you are putting out energy that says, I'll do whatever you want, right? And people get that, and they take advantage of it. Because if you don't have a plan for yourself, then the people around you will provide a plan for you, and it will benefit them, not you. And that's just human nature. That's not malicious intent. That's just how it is. So yeah, I have thought this through. Robin says, hi, Kirsten. Hi, Kirsten. Mikey says, this is the funny thing. Mikey is the first commenter every day, but some days that's the only comment. Not every day, but some days. Mikey, I was a caregiver for a long time, and it quite nearly killed me. The resentment was there, but I couldn't express it out of love, and it really was my choice after all. All things worked out, and now the freedom is exhilarating. But I had to get over the self-imposed guilt via inner work. It's all good. It does take some inner work. It does take some self-discipline and self-awareness. But once you set that intention that I want to set these boundaries, it doesn't mean you have to give up being a caregiver. It just means that I need to, let's use the parent example again, right? Because my kids are in high school now. My daughter's a senior, my son's a freshman, and my wife and I are finally at the point where it's like, wow, we could leave the house. What a concept, right? So, but when they were little, I wanted to be here. That's why I work at home, because I wanted to be here for my kids. My wife is a stay-at-home mom, and those were our choices. But along the way, we kept having to make adjustments to those choices. If we felt like all I'm doing is this, and I don't have any time to do that stuff for me, then we would make adjustments in our lives to figure out, like, well, how can we bring that back in? And how can we make it so that our children are a part of our lives rather than us being dictated by theirs? Does that make sense? I think it does. Deb says, thanks, Bobby. I'm assuming that's Deb. You're welcome. Yes. And Robin says, here it is. Do it now. Reminds me of my brother who got tired of listening to me talk about wanting to paint, and he just told me to stop talking and start doing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Very good. Good brother. Marcia, hello, Marcia. You said hello, Bobby, and I almost looked at you and said, hello, Bobby. Hello, Marcia. Hello, Marcia. How are you? Come in late, and we'll have to do the replay. That's cool. You're allowed. That's fine. Welcome to Daily Fuel. Always nice to see you. Robin, so he didn't care about being polite because he was my brother, and his comment was more important than being polite. Well, that's another way to not be polite. Sometimes you might know that somebody that you really care about is doing something harmful or whatever, and you don't want to be polite. You don't want to be rude and tell them, like, you're being dumb, but sometimes you got to give them the tough love. So maybe that's what he did. That's great. Kirsten is here. And here she is. Hello. Here, I'm kind of marinating in your comment on resentment and regret. I often feel that. And then comes guilt, paralysis, so on. Yes, my point was not to get to regret and be like, wow, that sucks. We wasted a life. Later. That wasn't the point. The point was to be like, we may be feeling resentment, we may be feeling regret, but we have to remember that because we are spiritual, we are eternal, and we could just start today, and it doesn't matter how much time has passed. It's really irrelevant. It feels relevant if all you think about is this 3D earth life, then it feels relevant, but we know that this isn't it, that this isn't even it at all. This is just, like I'm the body, and, I have my finger in a glove, and me in this meat suit is just the finger in the glove feeling around. I take my finger out of the glove, and I don't regret that, oh, I forgot to touch that thing. It's like, I'll do it next time. I'll do it now. We have forever to get it done. But having said all of that, that's nice. I still want to do it while I'm here. So try not to wallow in the regret and feeling that paralysis. If you're feeling that, then just decide, I really want to do this thing. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to look for allowing a way to start now. Just start now. Amy, it's so okay to do your own art and say no to others' needs. They'll get over it. Yes, they will. And adapt. The trick is to make the adaptation in your own mind. Yeah, if somebody is kind of relying on you for a thing all the time that's kind of sapping your energy and pulling you away, and you suddenly say no, here's the funny thing that happens to them. Nothing really happens to them. You become free, and they go, oh, I guess I'll have to figure that out myself. Whatever. And they move on, because it was sapping the energy out of your life, but it really wasn't making any difference in theirs. Sometimes the things that sap the energy and add the resentment and the regret in our life are because we're giving our power to other people, but they are not getting much out of it. It's not like I'm taking all of my essence and I'm giving it to this person and now they have like double the essence. No, because the essence of their life comes from them. You can't give it to anybody. All you're really doing is not using it yourself, and it's going to waste. Kinda, not really. It's still there. It's still coming from you. It's eternal, but it feels like it's going to waste. So when you're out of their life, or not, maybe not you're out of their life, but when you're like, you know what, I can't do that thing for you anymore. I gotta do this for me, and they'll go, oh, okay, and that's it. And if they're mad, it's who cares? Then they're not really a friend. Right. Oh, Deb, you did it. Yeah, I see you now. You're coming up next. Ray says, nines are humanitarians and feel the need to help the world, even to the detriment of their own world. Yeah. And I think that's just what I was talking about, because we feel like I need to give so much to help other people. But to quote Abraham again, you cannot be sick enough to make somebody else well. You can't be poor enough to make other people rich. You can uplift, but you can't hold up. You can't hold them up. You can't. But you can do really well and pull up. You can uplift. You can show a path, and other people can follow it. That's my choice. That's what I want to do in this group. Is I want to make myself be, large and successful and get to where I'm trying to get, and we're all kind of doing it together, It's not a thing where I'm saying like, I know the way, I am completely clear on it, let's go, That's why I do Daily Fuel, because I'm not completely clear on it. I talk to you, and you say stuff to me, and then I say stuff back to you, and it helps with my clarity. And then I say, hey guys, I got some clarity, and it's this, and everyone goes, you're so smart. Well, we're all so smart. I'm just the conduit through which it's coming out. But it's a group think. Here she is. Deb, hi. Oh, energetic boundaries. Yes, we need those, especially if you're an empath. P.S. Can you see me now? Yes. Very good. Thanks for doing that, Deb. Crimson is here. Hi, how are you? Some of my friends say that I'm letting people take advantage of me by giving my art away. Well, if that's what your friends are saying to you, I don't know that to be true. I don't know the situation, but if people who love you are saying that to you, I would take it with a grain of salt and examine it. But again, your friends may be just imposing their wishes on you, and you don't want to be rude, and so you're saying, yeah, maybe I should charge, and now you're going to go down this path of commerce, and 10 years from now, you're spending more time selling and running your gallery than painting, and you hate it. So I don't know what the answer is. You know what the answer is. You should figure out, like, not should, I don't mean that word. You can figure out like what is the best path for you. Now, I find that I can't figure that out in one day. Like I need to meditate on something until a spark comes in, and then I get on that path, and then I see where it leads me. And that's what I'm doing in this group. Unlike the way I used to do it, where an idea would come in and I get a spark and I'd fill in all the blanks and write it all down and figure it out. So, just because your friends are saying that people are taking advantage of you because you're giving your art away, maybe they're right. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe it's somewhere in the middle. I don't know, but you do. And maybe you don't know it where you can articulate it today, but you can feel toward it if you try. Deb, why are you giving it away? Is it as gifts? Is it important value as gift? But it's nice to be generous. Find the balance, I guess. Right. There you go. Exactly what I just said. See, Deb? Smart. Kirsten says, oh. I love when you guys write exclamations in the comments and stuff. It's like we're having a conversation. It's like you said it out loud, but you typed it. I like that. I put out the energy of I can do whatever you want. I'm not allowed to say no problem at work anymore because I stretch my boundaries too thin. Now I have to stop and be aware of what's best for me and the whole team. Yeah. So what? You're literally not allowed. Like your boss or coworkers told you stop saying no problem because they realized that you are just like I can do it. I can help you. I can fix that person. Is that what I'm reading? Then yeah, your friends are probably right, or your coworkers are probably right. Maybe they're not friends, but yes, very good. Stop doing that. Crimson. If someone really likes one of my paintings, I feel they're meant to have it, even if they can't pay for what I'm asking for it. Okay. So that, again, this is not fully, I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, but that to me sounds like you're feeling like it was a sign from the universe that this person should have it, but they can't pay for it, so I'm going to give it to them. That can lead. How does that make you feel? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe you're rich. I have no idea. So maybe you're making money from other things, and the painting isn't the thing you even care about making money for. You're very happy to give them away. It just brings you so much joy that you're in completely in the flow of life, that money and things come from other places with ease. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're struggling, and maybe you need to figure this out. And maybe you do realize that I shouldn't do this because I work so hard on these things, and I could sell them for a lot more money. And I'm sorry that you like it, but why don't you go and save up some money and come back to me, and you could buy it later or commission me. Pay me on commission. I don't know, but you know. So. Meditate on that. Work on that. Mikey, my caregiver situation was for my best friend who got kidney disease, so it was not an option to say no. Well, it feels that way, right? The resolution happened when he died. That was the reason it took a long time to accept the freedom. Okay, well, I'm sorry that your friend passed. And yeah, I know. Sometimes it's like things get thrust upon us. Yeah, I don't really have a comment for that. I'm sorry. Robin says, I do have a comment, but I don't. It's not fully articulated, and I'm worried that it's going to come out sounding shitty, and I don't want it to. So I'm gonna simmer that one. I'm sure that this will come up again. Robin, I don't regret wasting time like 20 freaking years not doing my art full gun because I had my reasons, and my remaining years are looking short. Oh. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. But I remember people like Grandma Moses and other artists who got the late starts and wound up successful in spite of it, which is encouraging. Yes, absolutely. You're doing it now, and that's what matters. So do it. Crimson, okay, so that's a message to Crimson. The thing, Mikey, that I was thinking about with your caregiver situation, because you said so it was not an option to say no, and that to me feels like one of those things where it's like it's not an option to say no. The option to say no was long before it happened. And I hate saying that. And that's what I mean, where it's like nobody in this group takes advantage of me. Why? Because I chose to not let people take advantage of me a long time ago. And I came into this group with this aura of, do not fuck with me. You want to hang out with me? Great, let's hang out. We can be best friends. I can be the coolest guy in the whole world, but don't mess with me. And nobody does. And nobody does. And so sometimes when we feel like this thing happens that it's like, oh man, now I have to do this. Well, guess what? You have to do that because you've created in the momentum in life to build up to the point where now this thing happened. If you have an accident, you have to have the accident. It's too late. It already happened. But you can decide not to have an accident a long time before an accident would even start to materialize into thought form. I hope that made sense, and I'm not trying to be rude, but that is sort of the truth of how the spiritual part works, and once again, to quote Abraham, it's like that situation is one of those things where it's like you fell out of the airplane without a parachute. You just got to wait till you hit the ground and then start again. So you waited, you hit the ground. Unfortunately, hitting the ground means that your friend passed away, and I am sorry about that. But now you're free, and you got past the guilt or whatever, and you're feeling the freedom, and you can move forward. There's always a next time. There's always another time. There's always. Bobby says... Deb, Bobby, I think you need to do a live on value. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did one on Worth a week or so ago, but these same things, it's all the same stuff, isn't it? I mean, I can call it one thing and we can talk about five and then do it again next week. But there's a never-ending source of stuff to talk about here. Because, why is that? Well, how come I can say this week and then do it again next week? It's because these things take time to dwell upon and to meditate upon and to allow to come to fruition in life. It's why we can go to a convention or to a thing where, like this great motivational speaker is speaking and do the whole weekend and just feel like, oh my God, that was incredible. I'm going to go out and crush life now for the rest of forever. And, then that's Friday. And then, by Monday morning, you're back at work and it's like, maybe you're feeling good, but by the next Friday, forget about it. You're back to your same old stuff. Why? Because it's just one time. You can't have this conversation once and then it sticks. You have to have it over and over and over again. Then you got to go and you got to do the work, and then you got to come back and have the conversation again, and you just have to make it a part of your life. That's why it's daily fuel and not once a year fuel. Mikey says it's all good. Good. Karma is an echo. Yeah, Deb says echo. Okay, good. All right, guys. I think that's it. Is that it? That is it. Yes. So, Deb, you get the booby prize today. Mikey gets the booby prize for first comment, and Deb gets the booby prize for last comment, except now Robin just jumped in there, and Ray did too. You know what? I'm going to call the booby prize, and then... it doesn't matter. Robin says, Bobby, did I? To Crimson. I only said... I thought you were just talking to Crimson. I'll read it. Hang on. Crimson, I texted you earlier to tell you I understood exactly how you feel about giving art away, because selling art for me often feels weird for some reason, because I feel it's more a gift than a job. Yeah, I am not standing here telling you guys you have to make art and sell it. If your life calling is making art and giving it away, who am I to say that that's wrong? I would never say that. It's your job is to figure that out. I do, however, believe that if there are artists that are making art and giving it away, that a substantial number of them probably are doing that for the wrong reasons. Reason being is, not to quote Crimson, but, I just feel like this person should have this. And even though I need the money and they don't have enough money, I'm just going to give it to them. And I'll figure out how to get money later on. That's not a way to get by, because now you're going to start you're going to start resenting these people. Jeez, another one that I resonate with. It's like, how many people want my art how come everybody who wants my stuff is broke? But that guy over there makes 3 paintings a year and he's a millionaire. What am I doing wrong? Well, that's what you're doing wrong. You're giving it away because you feel like you should, because it probably feels okay in the moment to give it away because they're happy, and it might feel not okay to say, like, well, I'm sorry you can't have it if you can't pay for it, because that kind of feels like crap. But you're not setting the boundary for yourself. You're not setting the boundary for yourself. So I'm sorry that I skipped that one. I saw you say Crimson, and I thought that you were just commenting something privately to her. I did, so I skipped it. Sorry. I only say that because it's a comment about giving art away, like how I feel my art is sometimes like children. I'll read this one too. And I want the pieces to go to a good place, and it's worth it to give it away if necessary. Again, that's your choice, and you could do it one way or the other or somewhere in between, but you've got to feel which way is the better way, or best way, rather, for you. And Ray says, that's the way conversations go, round and round, stream of consciousness, and you're dealing with way too many thoughts in many heads. We understand you most of the time. Thank you. Robin says, no. I don't know what that means, but Melinda gives me a heart. Hello, Melinda. Nice to see you. And Robin says, Bobby, I don't give my art away, never, except to my brother, who, when he died, his family never contacted me and threw it out. And it was a lot of work. Well, that's not cool. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And I'm sorry about your brother. Mikey, music is easier to give away. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Amy says, another thing about giving art away to friends, it encourages other friends to like your work and get a freebie. Ain't that the thing? But you know what? I've also heard of entrepreneurs who became gazillionaires by making a thing and their friends liked it and said, hey, can I buy that? And they sold it to one friend and then other friends wanted it and they bought it too. And then the next thing you know, blah, blah, it blew up. You know, I don't know if you remember this. It was years ago. I might be mixing up two stories. Anyway, do you remember Crocs, those shoes? And anyway, Crocs, they're those comfortable shoes that people wear, and they have little holes in them. And there was somebody who made up this stuff where they could, it was like a piece of jewelry that could plug into the hole. So it had like it was like a stick, and on one end was a decorative thing, but on the other end was like a plug, and you could pop it in, and it would stay there. And they had there's a name for them. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, this lady made them and started selling them to friends, and her friends wanted it, and her friends' friends wanted it, and blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, they were bought out by Disney for $20 million. But if her first friend who saw it was like, can I have that for free? And she's like, I guess, I made it. It took me 17 hours, but I guess you can just have it, And now the other friends want it, and all the friends want it. Next thing you know, you're up all night long making these stupid things for everybody's shoes, and your kids don't even have shoes because you can't afford them because you're giving all your stuff away. And that's what happens. So which one do you want? If your friends all want your art, ask them, hey, thank you so much for loving my art. Are you able to help support me? I'm more than willing to make the art for you, but I would also like to have food tomorrow. So, what are we going to do about that? What are we going to... I'm hungry. I need to go have dinner. Melinda says, energetic exchange should be equal on both sides. That's it. That's it. That is it in a nutshell. If the exchange is not equal, right? What do we need money for? We need money for resources and things, right? And lifestyle. We need that. We live in this world. We have to have it. But the money does not have to come from selling your art. So let's say you figured out a way where you can make art and give it away because you've got an income from some other thing. So now you don't even care about selling it. You just want to make things and give them to people. That's fine. But if you're making things and giving them to people and you don't have another way for money to come in, then that's not fine because now you're giving it to people and they're going, thanks, and walking away with it. And, when they don't need it anymore, they're like, throwing it away because there's no energy exchange to it. If you literally don't need the money because you've got this other money coming in, then you're giving it away with a certain energy and they're picking up on that energy and receiving it with that energy. But if you're just giving it away out of politeness because, well, you seem to like it and want it and I don't know how to ask for money, so I guess you can have it for free or for half price or for, I'll give you $10, I suppose, right? I mean, where does it end? Now the energy that you're putting out is completely wrong for you. And they're taking it with thanks, but they don't really care about it. Or maybe they do, but not as much as they would if it was a genuine giving it away. Thanks, Melinda. I'm glad you showed up today. That was perfect. And Amy says, can cause a knock-on effect where you produce just for free for friends. Absolutely. Mikey, a one-off deal. What? Music's easier to give away. It's a one-off deal. Yes. And Robin says, yeah, I was devastated when I asked about my painting and my sister-in-law didn't even remember it. And also a painting that my paternal grandmother painted is gone too. Some people don't regard art as they should. No, they do not. that stinks. But again, it's the energy that we create. I think, the people in this group regard my time the way that I would like them to, because I created that energy around myself. I didn't have to tell people to do it. I just is. So we can all do that for everything. If you're finding that people are not regarding your time correctly, they're not regarding your art with the same respect. Remember Louise Hay? She had a thing that she'd said. She went out with somebody and she had a really nice car, right? And so they went out in their car and they parked it, and she was going inside, and the person she was with said, "Aren't you going to lock your car?" And she's like, "Oh, no, I never lock my car." "Why not?" "Because I just assume that the people who will come in contact with my car will respect it as much as I do, and they would never go in my car without permission." And they never did. And that's how it works. You just have to I create this energy that the people around me will respect me and will pay me what I'm worth, or will regard my time or regard my work with the respect and value that I perceive it to have. And then they do, because I say it should be so. And so can you. Amy Tyler has left the building. "Awesome to be back, but I gots to bail as it's near 1 a.m. What? Amy, do me a favor. Don't leave yet. Stay and don't sleep tonight. Just hang out on the live. See what I'm doing there? I'm kidding. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. You're probably already gone. Melinda says, "You are most welcome." Thank you. And Robin says, "My brother loved the painting, so that's why I gave it to him." Well, he was your brother. I mean, that could be a different thing. If he wasn't sick, it would never have happened. I understand. And when he died of cancer, I did think about asking for the painting, but couldn't bring myself to do it. Would be rude. And with that, we will put a nail in this one. That's not the expression. We will end this one. Thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. And Robin, I guess you get the booby prize now. Deb's last comment was like a day and a half ago. So Deb, sorry if you're even still here. You don't get it. But you know what? You can have it too, Deb. I'll send you one. Guys, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I will see you tomorrow. So have a great night. And that's it.